Guess what, folks? He's back. Well, we think he is. Jose Altuve is possibly set to return on Friday. The Oakland A's come to town before heading on the road to the Brewers. And we're going to talk about JP France, the Astros pitching ERA, and some other things in Astros baseball. Let's talk about this on this edition of Locked On Astros.
Alvarez hits a high drive center field. Bierling's back. This game is turned upside down. There's the runner. Fly ball down the right field line. Tucker comes on. Kyle Tucker. This time they finish the job.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. Find me on Twitter at Eric Talk Stros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can they find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. They can find me at Stros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive. I'm excited about the possibility of Altuve being in the lineup Friday. Always Stros.
I don't know if many people will get that Independence Day reference there, where Dennis Quaid flies himself into the flying saucer, or did I just spoil that movie for a lot of people there? But anyway, Jose Altuve may be back. We don't know. I'm pretty sure that he's coming back, but what does that mean for the Astros lineup? What does that mean for Mauricio Dubón? Mauricio Dubón has been pretty much in the lineup every day. Is he still going to be that? This is some of the stuff we'll talk about on this podcast. And the Astros are playing the A's. It's time to get greedy. So thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go and make sure you keep on subscribing and become a everydayer. Everydayer is somebody that listens to our podcast every day. I know we have a lot of people that say, hey, ooh, Eric, Brett, I'm an everydayer. Go ahead and let us know and be proud of that. And go and make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Check us out. Today's episode is brought to you by Birddogs. Go to birddogs.com/lockedonmlb. And when you enter promo code LockedOnMLB, they'll throw in a free custom Birddogs Yeti style tumbler with every order. And it's pretty darn cool, if I do say so myself. I have one right here. So go check out birddogs.com. And so I know that I was watching last night's game. I was working on getting ready for an interview for today, but I was super excited with Kyle Tucker's walk-off hit. And I know there's a little bit of drama at the end where they had to flash the lights twice because they're like, wait, we think we won, but then they were doing a review. But that was an epic game. I really wish I could have done that podcast, but I was really preoccupied. But Brett, that was awesome to sweep the Cubs, especially after JP France admitted that he's going to look at the videos and said that he thinks that maybe there's a chance he might have been tipping. He doesn't know for a fact. He's going to go look at the video and see if maybe he was doing it. I know on yesterday's podcast, what did you think it was?
Well, I was just talking about the shape of his pitches. He doesn't have a lot of vertical and horizontal break on his breaking pitches. But what is effective is almost like the invisible, what Christian Javier throws is the ball is hard to pick up when he delivers the baseball. Some guys, when you're at the plate, batters will tell you, like, they see when that pitcher throws, it looks like a beach ball to them, right? And they were seeing that ball because, let me tell you, the Cubs jumped on him early. And they're actually really lucky that they only got out of the first inning giving up 3 runs, because that could have been a watershed where 9-10 runs crossed the plate because they were barreling up everything. Right. You had Sia hit 2 home runs. Morel was doing his thing again. But that lineup, Eric, the Cubs lineup, that's a stacked lineup. Probably, I think, one of the best lineups in the National League.
It's going to take some time to fully develop, especially with some young fellas. But yeah,
well, I'm just saying. Well, their problem is their pitching, though. Their problem's not their hitting. Everybody's hitting almost north of 260, just about every hitter in that lineup. But JP France went out there. Look, I would rather him have a struggle start like this, get into the lab with Murphy and Miller and talk to them about what he needs to do. Like he said, he's looking at it. I think too, there was probably some pressure. His first home start, it was a big deal. He did have a lot of family coming in. And so as a rookie going through those emotions, and you've seen he is an emotional guy. He is a guy that looks like he plays with his heart on his sleeve. And, that can be a good thing. But in a first home start, that could also kind of rattle the cage a little bit. And every one of these players, I don't care how good or bad they are, they're all major league hitters. Right. He went out there. He didn't do great, but he's a rookie. Get this out of the way. Sweep this under the rug, but learn from it and go forward. Because I think we're going to see more good things than we see bad things from JP France. This is what you need JP France to be. You need him to be an innings eater. You need him to give you quality to semi-quality starts, last 5 to 6 innings. And I think he'll do his job, and the rest will be icing on the cake.
Yeah, and he said that he thought his stuff was as good as the first 2 starts. He said, I had no problems getting 0-2, 1-2 real quick. For some reason, couldn't get a whiff out of the bat. We'll have to look at video, see if I was tipping or something. I could talk about that all I want. At the end of the day, we pulled one out and got the sweep. It was just a good game. And I don't know if you saw Jeff Passan, talking about Aaron Judge and the whole tipping gate or whatever is going on over there. But when he's glanced over, yeah. So, but the pitcher apparently admitted that he was tipping his pitches, and Passan was basically saying, "Oh, that's not cheating. That's just out baseballing the other team. And as long as you're doing it that way, that's good. That's perfectly okay. You're just you're staying within the rules of baseball." So he's coming to the Yankees defense there. But now if the Astros were doing it, I know, but you're still looking at the dugout, and you're like, if Aaron Judge was seriously looking at the Yankees dugout to get a sign about what they're doing, then I know it's not electronic sign stealing or anything like that, but still.
Well, yeah, and I think there's been plenty of people. I know me. I just jumped on it. I'll be real honest, on social media. I just want to see if I could ruffle feathers of some Yankees fans. Yeah, I love poking the bear.
Not Brett Chancey.
That is something that I actually have fun. I actually opened a hornet's nest with some Dodgers fans about 2017. That's actually been a fun conversation to watch unfold. Being told I'm in denial about the Astros ever cheating, that's pretty laughable. But look, at the end of the day, if the Yankees do something or don't do something, what I've realized is we can't worry about it, because whether you think there's a bias towards them or not, there probably is, but we're never going to really prove anything. If the league wants something to be found out, they'll find it out. If they want to cover it up, they'll cover it up. It's just how it is. It's how it goes in sports, politics, and any other area of life. Unfortunately, the Rats are always going to win the rat race. And so that's why the Astros, I think, are like watching this team come from behind, really kind of feeling in Minute Maid Park that there wasn't really any hope. You like easily forget how good this team is. It kind of reminded me of the ALDS game against the Mariners, where when Jose Altuve struck out in the final inning of that game, where Yordan Alvarez, hit that ball, I was like, Altuve struck out. Okay, all hope is lost. Like, he's your guy. He's your clutch guy. He strikes out, we're done. I was like, wait, but we got Alvarez, right? So what was funny was they walked Bregman to get to Alvarez. Alvarez grounded out, but it worked out with them. It worked out for him because the guy that was throwing to him, the left-hander, had only given up 2 hits all season to left-handed hitters. So that was the right play. The right move was to get Bregman, put him on base, and he grounded out. So that part worked. But then Kyle Tucker came up. It was electric. It was great to see. Being down 6-1, that's a pretty big comeback. And to score 4 of those runs in the 9th inning, you got to realize that it's rare. It's so rare this year that it was the first time that they did it all season long. Go to sorare.com/lockedon. Listen, collect, play, and win officially licensed digital baseball cards. So Rare is a game where you, the fan, download the app, draft your team, After you draft your team, you can increase their value. You can win prizes. If you get in the top tier, you could win game day experiences, autograph items, autograph uniforms, game tickets. You at some point during the season could earn an interaction with Juan Soto or Julio Rodriguez, which would be pretty cool. Even though they're not Astros, they're superstars in Major League. So you don't have to spend money. It's all free. Now, they do have different aspects of it where you can buy cards that people are auctioning off, and that's your prerogative. But all my success has come with the cards that I didn't spend any money on. And that's at sorare.com/lockedon. Collect, play, and win officially licensed digital baseball cards today. And
Alrighty, guys. So I know that coming to town, we have the A's, and I know hopefully, I'm pretty sure he's already in town, Jose Altuve, but we don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be back in the lineup on Friday. But if you want to hear all the play-by-play and can't listen to it on the old-fashioned AM radio, and you can't watch it on the old-fashioned TV, then go ahead and listen to it on Sirius XM. Just go at 710. Just go and download the app, SXM, and go and search Astros. Listen to Robert Ford and Steve Sparks and with all the play-by-play coverage. And go ahead and check us out. And pretty soon, the Locked On Astros podcast is going to be on there as well. So go and check out Sirius XM. I don't know why I went country there.
I don't either. I guess people from the country listen to Sirius XM. But hey, you mentioned Jose Altuve. Before we get into his sources say supposedly he will start guys like McTaggart and Rome, Rome said, I would be surprised if he wasn't in the lineup. And that's really my feeling too. I would be shocked if he wasn't in the lineup. Mauricio Dubón, Eric, is leading all second basemen in batting average. He's second, I believe, in defensive runs saved this season. Been phenomenal. But I love his takes on this because he was interviewed. And you'll have some quotes for us here in a second. I love this guy's attitude because he has every
I think he's
reason.
third, though.
Oh, is he third in what? Oh, in defensive run
saved? Yeah.
Okay. Well, third, second, third, fourth, fifth. No.
Yeah, I know.
Third, that is correct. And I believe it's Seager and one other person in front of him. I'm not sure who the other person is.
It was Simeon and Son Kim.
Oh, okay. Okay, hi, Sun Kim, and okay, thank you, Simeon. That's right. Okay, Seager is not. Stop. Let me finish my point.
Okay.
I love his attitude. This is a kid that has earned the right to say, I want to be the starting second baseman. But he's known all along that he wasn't replacing Jose Altuve. He was holding his spot. I love that. So tell us what he said specifically. Give us the quote about not replacing Altuve.
Well, he's saying he's going back to where he belongs. He's the second baseman. I filled in for him. I knew that before coming in. He's the second baseman of the Houston Astros. It's not hard at all. He also said, we need a second baseman that hits home runs. And that is not Mauricio Dubón. He has not hit a home run this year. And actually, we don't want him to hit a home run. So this is what he said. I knew with regular bats, I was going to be able to do what I'm doing right now. I just needed to show everyone what I was able to do. I did this when I was in the minors, when I had regular playing time. I just have to be able to translate that to my role now. But I knew I was able to do it. So now the question is, what is his role going to be now? Because he's not going to take over at shortstop, even though he's a pretty good defensive shortstop, but you have Jeremy Pena. Right. He's not going to take over as the everyday center fielder because you have Jake Myers, who hit the big home run yesterday. You have Chas McCormick, who made that great catch. So he could play some center field, but he's not going to be the everyday center fielder. I think that if you ask Dusty Baker, he would like to get him in the lineup as much as possible, keep his bat going. But there's a chance that he could not be an everyday player, but still make the all-star team as a second baseman just because of what he's done so far.
Yeah. And I was going to say, had Altuve been out longer, I think it would be an almost certainty that he is the all-star second baseman. But at this point, I mean, it's May 18th. Why not? I mean, this guy's deserved it. And this is probably a guy. Now, look, maybe this is a new trend for Dubón performing at this level, no matter what role he plays as a major league player. And maybe in the future he has other all-star bids as a utility guy, things like that. But this is a career moment for him. This is a big moment for him. And it's so important that he in his role understands where he is, what he's done to contribute. And I guess he feels appreciated. I think if he was disgruntled or upset or mad, that would probably come out in the media. You would hear it. But to hear him say, we need our second baseman to hit home runs, well, and he was kind of deadpanning, and that's kind of been his MO. Is he's a great clubhouse president. He is a positive guy all around, and was one of the guys that I wondered for a while, like, why is he on here? He's not great. And he's just really overplayed and outplayed all expectations and has been a key part of this Astros offense. I mean, he got a team high 309 batting average. He keeps getting on base. He has key hits in key games. He's fast. His defense has been phenomenal. And when they put Hensley in there and placed Dubón last night, I was actually upset. I was like, wait, if Altuve is coming back Friday, why don't you let Dubón play today, which was Wednesday, and then sit Thursday, and because it's an off day, and then let Altuve, let Dubón play his last starting game as a second baseman for a while. But I'm thinking what they're going to do with Altuve, depending on how he feels, he'll probably play a couple games, 2 or 3 games, and then they'll rest him. They'll just give him a rest early on.
Give him some time at DH too.
And then give him some time at DH, and then you can put Dubón at second. And that's what I love about Mauricio Dubón. This dude's just so good, man. His attitude, his effort, his hustle. You don't question. This dude is a gamer. This dude is a ball player, and I'm so glad that he's on this Astros team.
Yes, and so I think that if you're wondering where he's going to bat in the lineup when he plays, I wouldn't be surprised if Dusty Baker likes him as the leadoff hitter. Put him as the 9th hitter. Have him act as the second leadoff hitter. So have him get on in front of Jose Altuve, who can hit home runs, the second baseman that can hit home runs, and then set up for the lineup. We saw that in was it yesterday's game when Dubón got on, and then you had Bregman kind of advance him up, and then you had Tucker with that double, not double, but the single that scored 2 runs.
Exactly. Yeah.
So just getting him on base, Dubón seems to make things happen. He's not going to hit the home runs. He's not going to get. He may get a triple, but that's not his game. His game is singles and doubles, and that's what you need. So I think you're going to see Dusty Baker try to find a way to get him in the lineup. And tell me if you agree with me, Brett. I think that Cesar Salazar is probably going to go down to AAA.
Yeah, I would think that would be the case. I don't know why you would send anybody else down, because you have a serviceable role for everybody else on this roster. But this is what I love that he said, because it totally proves me wrong in my early skepticism of Dubón and what kind of player he was. He said, I just knew with regular at-bats, I was going to be able to do what I'm doing right now. I just needed to show everyone what I was able to do. I did this when I was in the minors, like you said, and I just wanted to repeat that from earlier, because for me, that says a lot to me, because all I can do is comment on what you've done or not done, right? And all he's done is go out and produce the way he's done. And that's the way you answer critics. That's the way you silence critics. And that's the way you are a true consummate professional. You go out and you do the things that you have the ability to do. That's why swinging this over to Yanner Diaz, that's why I think it is important for Diaz to get more at-bats, Eric. I mean, he was 2 for 4 last night. The kid, the bat has got to get going, and you can't let him get going and then put him on the bench. If you're not going to catch him, freaking put him at DH. I'm just saying Diaz needs more at-bats. And if more at-bats means you're going to take some from Dubón, then maybe Maldonado needs to be in the lineup less.
Well, that's the problem. If you're going to put him at DH, then you can't send down Cesar Salazar, because then let's say something happens with Maldonado, and then you have to take Yainer Diaz off a DH, then you're going to lose the DH for the rest of the game.
Well, but okay, so it's either Salazar or Hensley, but
Yeah.
having Salazar on this roster, he's literally serving no purpose.
Yeah.
He's keeping about an 8-inch spot on the bench warm right now. That's his role.
Yeah, and same thing
he
for
deserves. Well,
yeah.
but Hensley gets a start. Hensley gets pinch hit. Hensley gets in there. I mean, who do you send down? I mean,
yeah, this has nothing to do with David Hensley. I'm just saying about, like, if you're going to send down Salazar, you can't DH Diaz at that point, because you're putting yourself backs against the wall if there's an injury. So if you're going to put Diaz in the lineup outside of catcher, you're going to have to put him at first base, and then you're going to have to DH Abreu. And then if you DH Abreu and then Diaz gets hurt, then you're going to have to either put Hensley in there, or it's just a whole bunch of calculations and everything that you have to consider. So, but we need to go ahead and move on and look ahead towards the next series, which is awesome. I think the Astros are definitely going to make up some ground against the stop switching, Eric. The A's, I think.
What are you doing?
Yeah, sorry. I don't know. I'm trying to talk and then coordinate something at the same time, but we're going to face the A's. And you know what? It's just kind of like we're going hunting and we need some bird dog clothes to wear. And this episode is brought to you by Birddogs.
Now, I don't know if bird dog clothes are great for hunting, but they are comfortable and they do feel great. And I basically have been wearing my bird dogs all day long. They're amazing. Wore them out to Galveston today. And let me tell you, some of the coolest shorts that I've ever worn in my life. I was comfortable. I never got overheated. So this is what you need to do. Go to birddogs.com/lockedonmlb. Use that promo code. You'll get the Yeti style mug for free. But their clothes are comfortable. The quality is great. The colors are awesome. And you'll stand out in the way that whether you're golfing, whether you're on a date, whether you're on a business trip or business meeting, you will look top notch. You will look like the leadoff guy. You'll look like Jose Altuve coming back into the lineup. Like everyone's like, oh, wow, look at that dude with the bird dogs. So check them out. The clothes fit great. They feel great. They're quality. And why wouldn't you want quality and comfort when you're out doing your thing? So go do your thing with Bird Dogs, the Bird Dog way, and use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB for that free Yeti mug. Go check them out today.
All right, so let's go and talk about this series, and you can watch this series if you have the channel. If you can't listen to it, if you can't watch it, go and listen to it on Sirius XM. It's gonna be epic matchup on Friday night. It's gonna be Brandon Bielak versus some dude, Waldy Chunk, something.
Walderchuk.
But it's gonna be epic matchup. This guy has a 7 ERA. I'm so excited to face this guy. But you can catch all the play-by-play action on Sirius XM. Just download the app SXM on your app store, wherever you get your apps from. Search Astros and go and listen to the game. And pretty soon, all the Locked On Astros podcasts will be going to Sirius XM as well. So, Brett, let's go ahead and talk about this series a little bit, kind of look a little bit into the matchups. It's going to be Brandon Bielak on Friday with an 0-1 record, 3.29 ERA. He's pitched a little bit better than that record would say versus Waldenchuk, and his Ken is his first name. So he has a 7.02 ERA, 1-2 record with 36 strikeouts. So if you're looking at who's faced him on the Astros side, Alvarez has 3 RBIs against him in 2 at-bats. Bregman has 1 RBI in 2 at-bats. Both of them are batting 500. And Maldonado might have a chance for a hit. In 1 at-bat, he's batting 1,000. So there might be a chance.
Yeah, you don't really have a sample size for any of these guys.
Right.
One guy has faced Bielak twice for the A's. And look, this is Waldenchuk. It's the Oakland A's. And they are a whopping 10-35, while the Astros are 24-19.
That's
I
not good.
don't know if
10-35 is not good.
Eric, it's terrible. And I don't know if you're overstating this epic matchup, which I think you are for comedy reasons, because
Matchup
B-Lac and
of the century.
well, okay. Eric, you're being a little dramatic. No, I'm joking. But yeah, look, I think the Astros get the job done this series because in game 2, you have Hunter Brown. I think he's going to come out there. He's 4-1 now. He needs to come out there and have a great start. Sears is 0-3 with a 5.27 ERA on Saturday. And then Sunday, you got Mueller with the 7.71 ERA, 1-3 versus Valdez, who's 3-4, which that record should be a little different. But look, are the Astros going to be what they were against the Cubs? Are the Astros going to be what they were when they played the Tigers? They need to play really well against this really bad team. I mean, this is a team that is on their way out of Oakland. This is a team that has an ownership that has totally turned their back on the fan base, and I feel absolutely terrible. I can't imagine that it's easy to suit up for the A's right now and play with a lot of motivation. And I'm not saying these guys aren't motivated, but knowing everything that's going on and knowing that fans just aren't going to show up because they're upset at owners, they're having protests because they're so mad, that's got to like play with your psyche as a major league player. That's got to be hard to keep yourself focused. But you know, they do have this rookie named his last name is Rooker. He's their left fielder.
Yes.
This dude's crushing the ball. He's a power hitter.
Picked him up in fantasy
Minute Maid Park is a hitter's park. And so you might see Rooker. Tony Kemp returns. Everybody loves Tony Kemp. Great guy. But this guy's got 11 home runs, Eric. 11 home runs, 2.95 ERA, a 1.013 ERA, and he wears 25. Why isn't 25 retired with the Oakland A's? I've always wondered that. Mark McGwire's number should be retired. I know the steroid thing, whatever, but he wears 25.
He pitches and hits home run. That's cool.
No, I said Mark McGwire.
No, you said ERA.
Oh, I said ERA?
Yeah.
What? I said ERA?
Is he Shohei Ohtani? That's awesome.
No, I didn't say ERA. I said OPS.
Okay. All right. But let's go ahead and you kind of glazed over the best part of the pitching matchup. The Astros are going to close up shop on Sears.
Oh, God.
All right.
Have you been waiting all day to say that?
Yes, at least for the past 10 minutes. But
okay, I was like,
and
you also about that.
You also passed up on something else. All three of the starters are left-handed pitchers. So
okay,
this is going to be an interesting matchup because Dusty Baker has been very hesitant to put Alvarez and Tucker back to back for situations like this. But I know they're there now. But
yeah,
since he's sticking to his lineup, the Astros have won 7 out of the last 8 games. What do you think the batting lineup is going to look like to kind of close out the show?
Well, I think you're going to have, if Altuve comes back, I think Altuve is going to lead off. I think you're going to have Bregman batting second. I think you will have, and then
Alvarez.
third you'll have Alvarez.
Then Tucker.
Fourth you'll have Tucker. Fifth you'll have
Abreu.
Again Abreu. And then I think Pena will bat seventh. That's his spot. Above him, you will probably have possibly McCormick, and then under him you'll have Alvarez or Diaz. I'm not sure who else I'm missing. No. Anyway, yeah, dude, I don't know. It kind of put me on the spot there. I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, so I would say it's you definitely got to put in the catchers at some point. So, and it really depends on if Dubon's in a lineup. And so I think we're going to see kind of a rotating lineup versus the one that we've been kind of seeing recently. But it really depends on the matchups. It really depends on who's in the lineup, because if Dubon's there, then you may see him batting ninth, like I said. I think you'll see Maldonado batting a little bit more eighth, especially with Dubon in the lineup. I think we're going to see more of Jake Myers because he is hitting with a little bit more pop, and we want to see what Chas McCormick can do. So we have a very good problem that a lot of baseball teams would love to have. We have too much talent in the outfield. We have too much talent since Jose Altuve is returning. Now, what the Astros need to do is capitalize on that talent and start hitting better like they've been doing recently on this little run that they've been on. They've got to match, because they have right now, as we were recording this podcast, the best pitching stats in baseball. I mean, in terms of ERA, and they're pretty close on WHIP. They're 5th in WHIP, but they're getting the job done pitching wise. And Rafael Montero, I'm sure you talked about it yesterday, he actually had another good performance. So maybe he's turning the corner. It looks like things are okay with the pitching staff. JP France, I think it was just a bad game. I'm not too worried about it. Let's see how he bounces back. So any closing thoughts, Brett?
No, I was thinking it's going to be a fun series against the A's. I hope they score a lot of runs. I hope they do a lot of damage. And I hope the A's go home with tears streaming down their face after being swept by the Astros. It'd be cool to get 2 sweeps in a row. Kind of hard to do in baseball, but I think this team can do it.
So you hope the Astros go out there and hit the ball a lot and sears them?
Wow. On that note, I'm H-Town Wheelhouse. He's Eric, the poetic man Huysman, and we are Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Check us out on Apple, Google, or Spotify. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go get some Birddogs. Go check it out. And just know that we're your team every day. Tell them, Eric.
Go Stros, and we'll see you next week.